a mango, fingertips like I'm Thanos, knocking doors down, no bangles. Without a Kango, tailor-made, walk with a limp, them bands is heavy, I need a brace. I am money, I guess the world is just a safe combination needed, not a coca key. I'm the extra lighter on the dresser, I know you need it, smoking out the competition, pouring up, we undefeated. What you heard, let's hear, we eating, talking about extra with a splash, extra acting bad, pull it like parades on parades, extra with the slab, pay what it cost for the tab, extra with the bag, young Chris a king, better add extra on the. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam. I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day. I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra.
Opened back in 2003. Have a look at the link. Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. The first throw, here's Winston. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try to hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off the play fake, Winston. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has passed its first two tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Show some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick, and the Eagles are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And the Saints are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique, and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance. He's helping his team in a huge way.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Demario Davis there on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. In motion left is Watkins.
Drop 60, drop 60.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. He rifles one that's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
This is taken at about the 14. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over a 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Ready?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hurts.
And this is caught by Watkins. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
The Eagles at 9-6 now. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play with the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hurts. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. Going deep here for Watkins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Landry now on the return. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this late season game, of course, not lacking for drama when you talk about the AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, in a sense, it's the haves versus the have-nots, because this group on offense, they'd be a wild card if the postseason started today, but they know the guys on the other side of the ball are still in that dreaded in-the-hunt category, and they're hungry for a win today.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Winston. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
On 3rd down, Winston. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Hassan Reddick in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Pulled in at the 24. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
We're scoreless after 1. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw here. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Let's go now.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. He'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 29-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Another run with Sanders. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running right, here's Sanders. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Here we go.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Out route, and it's complete to Brown. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the stakes in this game certainly high as we get toward the end of the regular season. For now, they are holding a wild card spot, but there are no shortage of other teams in the NFC looking to take that spot from them.
Starting with the guys on the other side of the field because they're on the outside looking in, and no one likes to be in that position. You want to be in the room, not looking inside to see everyone else having fun.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Milton Williams just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll go draw here. Winston hands to Kamara. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
3rd and long for Winston. There's Chris Olave. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking. It's still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 39. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Winston again, it's Kamara. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's set. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick, and the Eagles are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call them ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This will be caught once again by Brown. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, it's Hurts. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll drop to throw. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, 45 yards. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Eagles are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Check contact.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
That's swung out wide to Sanders.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 41, Hurts. This one complete down the field to Goddard. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 13-yard line. That's good for 28 yards. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. To throw on 2nd and 6, Hurts. And he delivers a strike complete to Watkins. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down. From the gun, Winston. Dancing, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Milton Williams able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They're continuing to rock and roll, and at intermission, maybe sometimes you fear after such a good first half of a letdown, but that wasn't the case.
And what I remember most about being in those situations is exactly what you're talking about. You almost have that sense of satisfaction. You're like, we're doing really well. I remember one time someone saying, winning's fun, but so is playing really well. Why would we want to do otherwise? That was the message, to keep the intensity up, to keep things going, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from this team.
Yeah, it's helped them extend their lead. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 83 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll go again with Sanders. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Hurts to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saintsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
And Winston lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
Third quarter action here, this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Hurts. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Oh, the sneak. It's Hurts. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Elliott now to have the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
7 yards there and a first down.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
On 1st and 10, Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for it.
And my goodness, another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On the jump.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Hurts. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next.
A breakaway for Michael Thomas. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know you're just trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Now Winston. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. And this is going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Back to throw here. Going deep here for Watkins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But the absolute pitch is shut out, so it can't get much